Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Studying the Masters. I am Alicia Dianne, and this is either you're watching from my Facebook page, Alicia Dianne Art, or you're watching on my YouTube channel, which is also Alicia Dianne Art. So, welcome. No matter how you're watching it, I'm just glad that you're here. We're going to be continuing in our study of Mary Blair. I got a fun picture that we're going to be working with today. It's a little bit different than the other ones. It's actually one of my favorites. I'm still using the same book as before. So we're still using the Art and Flair Mary Blair. And this time it says a 1944 exploratory painting by Blair on location in Georgia for Song of the South. So I don't know if you've seen Song of the South. I feel like I haven't seen it, but I'm really interested in giving it a whirl. I'm really interested in it, so hopefully, I just checked on Disney Plus and I didn't see it on there, so I was like, dang, where is it? Maybe it's one of those ones that has, like, the undertone of the racial, I guess, what's now would be considered to be inappropriate. I don't know, because like I said, I haven't seen the film, but I don't know. I would really like to. I don't know if it has anything to do with Briar Rabbit. Briar Rabbit. I don't know how you say the name of that. Briar Rabbit or Briar Rabbit, something like that. But you guys, I'm gonna be going through this, and I think it'll be some interesting bit of work. So I'm gonna start us off. I'm gonna try and find. Actually, the background is kind of gray, just like this one, the one that I have already. But I'm gonna try and see if I can find this orangey color. There's this nice orange color that's used throughout this painting, like a bright autumny orange. Let me see how that works. Sorry for my notifications. How are you guys doing today? What did you guys do today? My day it was interesting. It was a very interesting day because I signed up to volunteer at the zoo, which currently I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. So it's funny that it says this is on location in Georgia. Well, not funny, but just you know, interesting because I'm also in Georgia at the moment. And I signed up to volunteer at the zoo, and today was my first day. That was fun. It was interesting because I learned a little bit about the animals that I was helping with, which were I didn't even start painting. I already just went right into color. I mean, I didn't do the sketch yet. I don't know. I just felt like that color just needed to be in there. I'm gonna try and get the gist of that shape there. And then I'll do the sketch, I guess, on top of it. I think my computer might be lagging a little bit. It's due for an update, but I don't know what's going on because my computer doesn't even have space for another update. What's the next one called? Big Sur. I don't have any more space for these updates. My Mac is getting old already. Alright, I'm gonna try and figure out the composition for this. Is it just me or is it not drawing? Let's see. If I'm getting a lot of lag, then I'm gonna have to sign it out and try again. Which it looks like I'm getting, unfortunately. Oh, come on now. I might just have to sign out and try again. Oh, God. Why do I have to get lagged right now? It just happens. It's just one of those things that happens, I guess. Don't know if I'm gonna be. Let's see if I can push through it, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. I wanted to talk today, though. I have like a whole thing that I wanted to talk about, but I don't want to get into it if I don't know if I'm gonna have to restart this whole thing. Hopefully. Yeah, I don't know if I can work in these conditions. Let's see. I want to just push through though because I don't want to have to shut down and do it again. So that would not be. That would kind of just kill the vibe, and I don't want to kill the vibe. If there is a vibe. I'm going to say yes, there is. There's always a vibe on this channel. Might not be a good vibe, but just kidding. Just kidding. But I do want to talk today. I'm just going to try and push through it. It's working, it's just a little bit slow. That's in the wrong spot. I wanted to talk about goals today. And that might be a common theme for me. Just because I would say, a pretty goal-oriented person. I have a lot of goals. I have a lot of goals that I haven't achieved yet. I guess that would make me even more goal-oriented. Is the fact that I'm still working on them. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today, actually, was working on goals that haven't come to fruition yet. What do you do with all of that energy? Or, like, I don't know, what do you call it? I think energy is a good word. Also, just not giving up. Perseverance, I think I wanted to give up so many times. Just like I have this goal I've been trying to accomplish for like the past, I think, low-key, since I was probably 8 years old. Like after I saw Beauty and the Beast, I was like, oh my god, Disney is amazing. But I think like actively pursuing this goal for the last 5 years, and that is, I've been wanting to work in feature at Disney Feature, and I don't know, it feels weird saying that. I feel like just saying it out loud just sounds weird. Not weird, but just like I feel like I'm talking to my diary or something. This is my dream, but no. It is though, and I don't know, I was just thinking about that today. Thinking about, have I kind of shut that out? Have I kind of like put that to the back of my mind? Um, yes and no, I would say, because I'm still like working on growing myself as an artist, trying to be stronger, trying to get better at my craft, trying to, I mean, that's just like my goal. Like, whatever your goal is, whatever you have, it could be totally something completely different. It could just be to get better at drawing or be able to learn how to use Photoshop or something like that. But I think wherever you're at with your goal, um, it's important to just not forget that goal, not forget, um, or not give up on it. Because it's, after a while, if you've been trying to do something for a while and it just feels like kind of beating against the wall, or I don't know, that's like the best analogy I think I can think of right now. It feels like when you keep on pursuing something and you don't get any positive, or you don't get much positive feedback, it kind of feels discouraging. But I think it's important to also set other goals, set like sub goals. And I don't know if I even explained here like before how to set goals. I think the most important part of setting a goal is writing it down. That's the first thing I think that anyone should do if they have like something that they want to accomplish. But after you write it down, you have to break it down into different steps. So like for me, like one of my things is just learning how to be stronger at drawing. So one of my practices, that's basically a daily practice, even if I don't get to do it every single day, even if it's I do it 4 or 5 times a week, um, still I consider it like a daily um, practice. Is just making sure that I do figure drawing, making sure that I sketch in my sketchbook, and that is important for me just to like so that I feel confident in my ability to just be able to draw like without thinking hard about it or without struggling through it, even though my computer lagging is struggling through it. Um, those are important to me, like just being able to feel confident while drawing. That's part of my other goal. And also finding other things to do, especially if it's a hard goal. Like for me, like I didn't pick an easy thing to get to. I picked something that is pretty challenging for most people that work in the field. It's I know like in the 90s and in the 80s it was a different time. People, um, everyone that I spoke to that started working back then, it was much easier, I think, to just get your foot in the door, um, because there weren't so many, I guess, schools offering degrees and so many programs and so many people that were just really interested in animation. And now there's a lot, there's a whole lot, and with a whole lot of people, there's a whole lot of competition. But I think that competition is not even really a good word. I think that everybody in your field can be an ally to you. Everybody in your field can be someone that you learn from and someone who learns from you, and you can work with them. And the more people that are working can create more opportunities for even more people to work. So I think that I don't know. I just think that looking at it as a competition or trying to compete with other people is not the right idea. I think just trying to be the best that you can be. And I know that sounds like afternoon special. I'm not trying to, but it's kind of what it sounds like. It's not how I mean it though. I just think that I don't know. I think that when we start to look at things as competition, it can get real sticky real quick. And definitely, I have looked at it that way before in the past. I just don't bother with that anymore because it's just I don't know. I just think that's not a good headspace to be in. And protecting your headspace is so important. If I learned anything in 2020, I learned that I'm stubborn and I'm not a very quick learner, but I'm actually a very slow learner. I take a while to learn new things sometimes, but I am pretty thorough, especially if it's something that I'm interested in. I'm very thorough and I will do whatever is required. It might take me longer, but I will do what's required That's what I've learned about myself also. And let's see. If I'm not interested though, then if you're not interested in learning something, then why bother learning it? This should be much more straight. Gonna have to remodel this house a little bit. But what do you do with a goal? I don't know if you guys have ever heard of. Oh, I know I talked about it before on my YouTube channel, but I never know who has seen like any of my older videos or not. So, vision boards. You've never made a vision board, never heard of a vision board. I actually want to make a new one. It's when you basically write a list of goals and you find images through either like magazines, newspapers, or you can just Google and save pictures of the things that you want to achieve in your life, or things that you want to become, or things that you want to own, or things like that. Even if it's like, I don't want to repeat verbatim like what they say in The Secret, but that's a good movie to watch if you've never seen The Secret. I've been trying to watch that documentary as much as humanly possible, just because it's like I have to train my brain to think positively, or else like I don't, especially in a year like this. It's been really stressful. I don't know about for you, but I can definitely say it's been stressful for me. So, my quality is getting lowered. Hopefully, you guys can still see me and hear me. But for me, keeping a positive mindset is a struggle. So I have to like put it into action every single day. Like, okay, today I'm going to think positively. And I can tell on the days when I don't do it, because those are the days that are not, oops, not going in my favor. Alright, so there's a tree, a very large tree, that is obviously the center point. What's what happened? Okay. The focal point, I should say. There it is. This big focal point right here. And this reminds me of actually what I'm doing for my day job right now. I just recently started. I might have talked about this before too. I don't know if I did, but I recently started working at a paint and sip place, and I've been teaching acrylic painting and assisting other teachers. And I've been doing a lot of trees, so it just reminded me of that. I was explaining to my students yesterday that to think of a tree like an arm. I always think of a tree like an arm because you have the base, the trunk is always the thickest, and it always gets thinner as you go, and then it spreads out, branches out, you can say, and it always gets thinner as it goes out. So, I mean, if you ever have trouble drawing trees, I like to think of it that way. It makes it a little bit easier. They're like the ground's arms, arms from the ground. If you can think of them that way, that helps me out a little bit. Maybe it'll help you. Do I have any programs open that I can close? I think my computer is just slow because it needs to update. I don't know how to update it if I don't have space on my drive. I might just have to make space, but I don't know how to do that because I'm drinking Sprito Zero. Sprito is a joke for people my generation, I think, because that's what in that show Friends, that's what the Sprite was. They would have just a regular bottle of Sprite and they put a O on the end of it, so it said Sprito, I guess, just to not give free advertisement to Sprite. So that's an irrelevant joke, but I thought it was funny. Alright guys, I'm gonna try and stay on topic a little bit, even though I might, as per usual, drift off subject again, just because that's how I am. But I'll try as much as possible to stay on topic, and right now we're talking about goals. Big goals. Big goals that you've been working on for years and you have not seen come to fruition. It's hard. It's hard to have like a big goal and then like nothing happens. Or you think nothing happens. Because that's the thing, we don't see like we'll put out, we see like it's just like I've heard it said many times that like kind of like setting goals is like farming. You know, you plant a seed and then you know, plow the land and you do all the work and you till the land and you water it and all this stuff and then you don't see anything for months and months and then, you know, it's just like, oh, I guess nothing is gonna grow, but it's all working underneath the soil. It's all happening underneath the soil, but you just can't see it yet, not until it's harvest season. But sometimes with goals, harvest season takes a long time. Like I've been waiting for harvest, like I said, 5 years, and it's still it's like okay, it's still like plowing. I feel like still like mowing the lawn or like weeding or like you know, but I don't know. I mean, I don't want to sound cliche, but I want to sound cliche, so I'm gonna say something cliche. They say you're supposed to enjoy the journey. It's hard to enjoy the journey though when you don't have any money. I mean, it's one thing if like you're getting like you're okay, you're doing alright. You're not worried about your bills. You're not worried about taking care of finances while you're on your way. But it's a lot harder to like be patient with your goals when you're like, dang, I don't have any money to pay the rent or whatever it is, you know, or pay for that my Netflix subscription anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Nah, seriously, it's hard, but I would advise you to stay encouraged because I don't know. I felt encouraged today. I heard somebody put a comment on my one of my videos on YouTube, and it was like, and it said it was like a post like a stamp like they stamped it like like when people say first comment or something like that and people say who's here in 2020, like you ever watch an old music video and say people like who's here in 2020, like people say stuff like that, but somebody put a stamp on one of my videos and said like here before this channel gets famous. And I don't know, it really I don't want to be like cheesy or sentimental, but that really meant a lot to me. That really made me feel like, wow, somebody like somebody like genuinely believes in me and like believes in this channel. And I do believe in myself and I do believe in my channel also and in the art that I'm doing, but it's just I don't know, there's something about just a total stranger that doesn't owe you anything that just is kind of like, yeah, this thing is gonna make it. That made me feel really, I don't know, that made me feel happy. It made me feel inspired. It made me feel like maybe I don't have to give up. um, I thought about giving up drawing before. Not recently. Well, actually, yeah, recently. Over the summer was the most recent time I thought about giving up drawing, which is ironic because I had just graduated graduate school with an illustration degree, and I was kind of like, um, I'm about to be over this because graduate school, graduate school sucked. I'm gonna say it. Graduate school sucked. Um, I was the only like I want to say I was the only cartoonist, but there was one other person who said they were a cartoonist, but they weren't in the culture. They just like made some cartoon-ish drawings, but they, I would say they weren't really in the animation slash cartooning culture. Yeah, that's the best way I could describe it. So I felt really alone. Um, I went to university, so in university, all of the studio art majors are put together, all of us. So I was actually the only person majoring in illustration, and so that would feel kind of awkward. It's like I'm like the only person in my own program. Everybody else was either painting or sculpting, but nobody really did either of those. Most people were doing really abstract concept or conceptual art, I would say it's called. Really like the modern, just kind of wackadoo art. I mean, that's the best way I can describe it. It's wacky. If you've ever been to like a modern art studio or like an art school show where it's like the fine art program, the MFA program, it's like it's totally weird. It's not even like it's just like what are they making? It's just like it would be like a bowl of jelly beans and like a dildo or something like that. Seriously. Like that's the kind of stuff that you'll see and it's just really weird and they'll be like, yeah, this is how they think of like global warming and they're like, really? That's art school. I don't know. I picked the wrong program to be honest. I was actually trying to go to I hate like talking about my failures because I feel like I sound like a failure when I talk about my failures. I sound like a failure when I talk about my failures. That's how I feel though. But I was trying to go to Cal Arts and I didn't make it into Cal Arts. And so I started actually just doing like continuing education classes at university and I ended up just enrolling because I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna enroll because I think that if I enroll, at least I'll be getting credit for the classes I'm taking. And the bonus is I should be able to get an internship and that will give me a foot in the door. That was my plan. I'm gonna like get like credit for all of these classes I'm taking and then I'll get my internship and didn't really get the internship. I took an internship class and I entered with my professor, but like I didn't get like a real internship. I had a crap ton of portfolio reviews though. Every studio you can think of, I think, reviewed my portfolio. Pixar, DreamWorks, Disney, um, Titmouse. Everybody reviewed it. And the funny thing is, it's kind of like a slap in the face because like everybody that I did a portfolio review with, and these are like professionals in the field, would say that they love my work and it's so good and oh my god, keep going. And then like nothing. And I was like, I would be like, okay, well, what do I gotta do to get like a job? I'm like, I'm glad you like my portfolio, but like liking my portfolio is not gonna give me like work. I want a career, you know. It's like it's kind of like someone. I was just thinking about this, like doctors, they graduate from whatever their wherever their medical program is, and there's like a, what do they call it? Agency. I call it what do they call that thing? A vacancy. What- it's called something like that. Um, um, when they start working someplace, but residency. I call it a vacancy. Oh God. But like when I'm such a fool. When a doctor finishes, medical school, then they go straight to their vacancy, their residency, and they just start working. And it's like nobody tells the doctor, "Oh yeah, that's a really nice stethoscope you got," and then like, "Yeah, but keep trying." Like, I don't know. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, but I just felt like that's not fair. Life's not fair. How come they get like work right away? But it's the thing is, some people do. I've seen it. I've seen it with my own two eyes. Some people get opportunities straight out of school, and they just go straight on, and they just get an internship right away, or like something happens right away, and that's it. That's like But I don't know if they appreciate it though. I think some people do, but I think there's a lot of people who don't realize, who have gotten easy, but they don't realize how hard it is for everyone else. Or maybe they do, but I don't know. I feel like I've come across at least a few people that don't really realize how hard it is for everyone else to get in. But I have come across some people that do realize it, and I can tell they realize it because they're very protective of their job. They don't want to talk to people. They don't want to review your portfolio. They don't want to like talk to you about their job because they don't want to be involved in like trying to help someone else in because they are really afraid of losing their position. And I understand that. So I definitely have met both people before. But I don't know. I don't know what happens after that. I don't really, I don't really know. I did, like I said, I'm going through a lot of like life transitions. I don't want to go too heavy into it right now, but I kind of did give up on animation a little bit for a time, more than once. When I finished um, undergrad, and I just was I just didn't believe in myself at all. I tried a little bit, but like what my plan A didn't work out, and so I didn't have a plan B, and that's kind of what happened. And I still like, but I still like, I tried to like be creative in other ways. Like I taught myself how to paint. I started entering in art shows. I just was like, all right, maybe I won't get tired like I wanted to at a studio, but perhaps I can still do this other thing or still be creative like this. And then I don't know, I got like the bug I think again, and I was like, man, I gotta do animation. I gotta be involved in animation somehow. And that's when I started trying again, and I started like taking workshops, and I did a Phil Young workshop, and I was watching all these guys on YouTube. I was watching Will Terrell and Steve Silver, and I just was getting really inspired, and I made up my mind to move to California and all of these things, and started taking classes, and I wanted to go to CalArts, and it didn't really pan out how I expected it to. It was just really hard to get, well, even a callback, which I never even got like callbacks. And so it was, I don't know, it was much harder, I think, than I knew it would be hard, but I didn't know it would be that hard. I didn't know it would be like that hard. It was really, really difficult. Like I would apply it to like hundreds of positions and not get like one callback. And I think, um, you know, when I left recently, um, I kind of was like, you know what, I'm gonna have to accept that, maybe this is not my calling, or maybe this is not gonna be in the cards for me. Like, no matter how much I want it, if it's not wanting back, like somebody would say, like, what you want wants you. I think it's Lisa Nichols. She's like a motivational speaker. She's also in that movie, The Secret. I think I got it from her, but she's always said, like, what you want wants you. Like, you shouldn't have to fight that hard for what you want, because what you want is going to want you back, if it's really meant for you. And so I kind of like took that and just like, I'm going to have to accept, the fact that maybe, like, I don't have any control over, like, the industry, and so I have to be okay with maybe not um, getting the position that I wanted. And that's where I was, and I feel like I accepted that, and I just kind of was like, okay, well, I'm going to focus on other things. I'm going to do some other things, and I'm going to be all right, And I thought of, like, maybe maybe I shouldn't even do art anymore. I've been working at it all this time, painting, making these stupid pictures. Nobody ever buys paintings from me. Um, I've sold a few, but um, not many. Most of the paintings I sold were, most of them were sold were contracted, and or wildlife paintings. I sold a couple of wildlife paintings, but those are pretty inexpensive. So, but I was like, man, I do all this effort. It takes me every day. You gotta figure it on. Nobody wants my art. And like, really thinking like this. Oops, what happened? Oh, dang. Okay. Alright. Hold on a second. Oh, dang it. Alright. I think that works. Okay. But, I don't know. I was just like, man, like, nobody wants my art. Like, why do I even try? So, I don't know. I guess I was kind of like going off the deep end with that. Like, oh, well, nobody's ever going to buy my art anyway, so it doesn't even matter. And so I was thinking about doing real estate, and I was thinking about that. I was serious too. I was like, maybe I should just do real estate. And I was like, dang, but I can't sell anything. I don't even know how to sell my art. How am I going to sell a house? So that was one of the things I went through, and I'm like, And I actually got some material. Like, well, you know what? I could learn how to be more outgoing. I can learn how to be better at selling stuff. I could um, learn how to be that type of person that can sell something. And so I got some online classes. And y'all tell me if I'm going too long and out on this story, but that was ended up being a good thing for me. And I actually got this course on, it's called Charisma University. I don't know if you guys probably heard that guy, Charisma on Command. They sell like an online class to basically teaching shy people how to be more outgoing. And so that's what I got, and working on that. I'm still working on it. It's really good. And I also got this book. It's called The Psychology of Selling, and it's by let's see, what's by? It's by Brian Tracy. So it's audiobook I have, but I think they sell a hard version also. Anyway, I got those two programs, And when I was reading The Psychology of Selling, it was like one of the things, so one of the principles is just like you have to be the best in your field and you have to love what you do. And that's when it kind of hit me like, I love houses, but I don't love, but like real estate is not, it's not my profession, clearly. I mean, obviously, it's not my thing. Drawing is my thing, making art is my thing. And I was just like, you know what? It kind of felt like it was like a tap on the shoulder from God, like, what do you like? Keep your eye on the prize here, like focus, focus. That's kind of like how I felt, like what I was, the vibe I was getting. Like, come on, like stop getting distracted. Like you're gonna put the equal amount of effort into doing something else. Like why not just continue to put that same energy into your drawing, and you'll be 10 times further ahead. And like, but I've been doing that. But it's like keep doing it then. Like the mind, like my mind is just like, keep doing it. I know you've been doing it for a long time, and you're not getting the results you want yet. But if you're gonna put energy into something else, what makes you think that that's not gonna be hard to do? Why are you gonna put the same energy into something that you don't like, into something instead of putting it into something that you love, you know? And I notice that I do that. I get distracted a lot. When I finished graduating from undergrad, I tried to be a police officer. I'm easily distracted. I look at shiny objects, I think. If I think that if I'm scared of failing, then I try to do something that I think will be easier. What made me think that being a police officer would be easy, but I don't know. I thought maybe I could do it. And I was like, hey, it pays $17 an hour. That's pretty great. Yeah. To get shot at? No. Probably not really great. I was like, yeah. I actually went through, I did all like the training and everything. I did all the tests. I passed all the tests. I passed the physical test, the physical exam and everything. Like we had to do like they do like a fitness test. I had where actually I learned how to run because I never ran in my life before then, and now I run 5 days a week, 4 to 5 days a week. So it's actually a good thing because it got me to work out, which was never a habit for me. So everything happens for a reason. Um, but I did lose sight of the goal, even though I found my way back. I did lose sight of it for a while. I lost sight of my goal for a little while. But the good thing is, you can see that when you go off track, you can say, okay, oh look, I'm off track. Let me get back on somehow. That's the good thing. That's the good news. You don't have to stay lost. So, moral of the story. Do I have a moral to my story? I hope so. I think my moral is don't do what I did. Don't get off track. Or maybe it is good to get off track. Maybe it's good to get off track sometimes because then you realize what you really want. Then I think that's maybe the only way to realize what you really want is when you keep getting off track and the roads keep pointing back to the same place. Like that's probably where you need to be. Like no matter what I do, the roads always point back to animation. It's like my it's like my true love. But sometimes it just feels like it's the one that got away. You know, it's like the celebrity crush. But no, it's like it's like I don't know. I feel like it's possible for me. It's just how to make it possible or how does it become possible? I don't know. You guys can probably hear the jungle book. Probably can't. I don't know. I guess that's all I have to say about my on my soapbox. I feel like I'm on a soapbox. Hopefully, I'm not being overly dramatic, but I do feel a little bit soapboxy. Okay, let's see if I can. Just trying to get the terrain. Trying to get the terrain right. Alright, this part I might be a little bit quiet, you know the drill. Trying to find that right balance. What color is that even? Really yellowy. Ooh, that's not it. A bit more. That's better. It's weird. It looks green, but it's like a tan. But it's like a green, but it's a tan. I don't know. It's confusing. And I'm gonna go on a different layer. Grab this house. I'm gonna change the scale just a little bit. All right. I'm trying to get this right. I think I'm gonna do a couple of things. I'm gonna move this forward, but I'm gonna. It's so long. That's too long. Alright, I think that's about right. Let me see. Problem solving time. Okay. I think that's more along the lines of what I'm trying to get. Oh, wrong color. Alright, let's see what other colors I need to get. Gonna keep going with these background colors. Get this road. Which is like a I like that. And let's see. This is a point where I'm a little bit quiet, so please forgive me. I haven't forgot about you. Just trying to plan my landscape here. We'll plot it out. It reminds me of like the farms in World of Warcraft for some reason. I really miss playing that game sometimes. I don't know. It'll be hard to play because I don't know, the last couple times I would try to play, I would always feel like I need to get back to work. Or like, I don't know, I'd be afraid of like wasting time. Oh, strong color. I would always be afraid of wasting time sometimes, and then always sometimes. That doesn't make sense. I would often find myself being afraid of wasting time. But there are times where I could really enjoy it. And just sometimes when you like really need a break, it's like, alright, I'm gonna play games today. I'm just gonna play games today, and that's the days that I can really enjoy it and just take a whole day. I think I did that a few times. Actually, I did that after I graduated. When I finally graduated, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna take some time to just play some games all day long. And I had some fun with that too. I need to have another day like that sometime. Only where I'm at right now does not have good internet, and that is not good for playing games like that because just a little bit of lag and next thing you know you're dead. That really sucks. Oh, come on. Alright guys, I'm going to try my best to get a nice picture here even though I'm lagging terribly. Alright, so let me find that clay color. Red. Not a red. It's weird, it's like lighter and darker at the same time. Ah, okay. Trying to find the right color. saturated. I'm gonna see if I can leave it there and then try and come back and work with the shading and things like that. Okay. Let me grab that grass color. Fill that in. Okay, let's get some more in. Let's get some more of these colors in. Oh, sorry. That was my alarm. That's a great way to have reminders too. If you have a phone, you can set your alarm to remind you. That alarm actually is for me to do my affirmations. So, what is an affirmation? It's basically taking your goals and like repeating them, or like um, reminders of your goals, or things, positive things that you can say, things that you want to like, habits that you want to have, or things like that, or beliefs that you want to change. Anything like that, you can turn into affirmation. So basically, you say, I am, and then you fill in the blank with your goal, how, either you can put how you feel about achieving that goal. You can put when you're achieving the goal, because you're always supposed to have like a deadline for each goal. That's like the only difference they say between a dream and a goal, is goals have deadlines and dreams don't. So I don't know. Give it a try if you are really interested in accomplishing some of your dreams. Turn those dreams into goals. I know I haven't achieved all mine yet, but getting somewhere. Having a master's degree was on my list. It doesn't always happen exactly how you think, because I thought I was going to go to CalArts, but I didn't. But I still got my graduate degree, which is an accomplishment, even though, like I said, it was not the best of times. sometimes, sometimes the goal is not what it all cracks up to be. Sometimes it's you got to change it, or like shift it around. But I don't know. I would say just don't change it because you're afraid to get it or you're afraid to not get it. If you really change your mind in something, then that's one thing. But don't change your mind because you're afraid of actually accomplishing your goal, I think. I've done that before. I don't want to do that anymore. Try and keep hope alive. Let me say as much as possible anyway. As best as you can in your own ability. Keep the hopes alive. Oh, wrong color. Alright, let's see what's the next step. I'm going to paint these. I'm going to do a house on a different layer. I think I will do the house and the trees on their own layer. I decided tonight that I want to watch Saludos Amigos. I haven't seen that movie in a minute, and I love it. It's one of my favorites. Okay, let's see. Now let's find a color for this. It's like a purple gray. Like a pinkish purplish gray. Oh yeah, what are the complementary colors? I guess the purple and yellow, because it's yellowy grass, and there's also going to be a yellowy color in there, and green and red, but it's like really like an orangish red. I love doing this with Mary Blair's, just finding complementary colors. She always has so many. This one is it's a little bit harder. It's a little bit harder to say blue and, oh, the main ones are blue and orange. There we go. The big centerpiece, the tree, is like a pale blue, and then most of it is orange. There's like a little bit of reds and a little bit of reddish, like burnt oranges, but it's like those are the two complementaries that she's using, is blue and orange. That one, they're always tricky. She always is like able to hide it somehow. It's like it's not so obvious as like a bright, you know, bright blue and bright orange. It's like pale blue with like this burnt orange. That's what I love too about Mary Blair too. It's her. She always has complementary colors, but it's not always so easy to just pick them out. It's always very subtle, subtle, subtle complementaries that she likes to throw in there one way or another. And I'm just gonna, I mean, because of, I don't want to make any excuses, but I think this picture is going to be a little bit more on the jagged side, but I kind of don't mind it, just because the lag is making my lines not quite as smooth, a little bit more jagged, but I kind of, just because the original was kind of rough like that anyway, I kind of don't mind. It's like the only reason why I didn't bother like resetting the whole computer and everything, because I felt like for this piece anyway, I don't think it will hurt it. Because if I thought it would, then I would just go ahead and reset everything. I think we got this. Alright, so I'm going to fill that in. Nice pale blue. Okay, I'm gonna leave it that color and I'll change the highlights and stuff like that after. Let's see, I want to make this other tree. It's like a very dark, it's like a dark burgundy. Like a deep, dark burgundy color. Kind of remind me like cutout though, like kind of like a paper cutout. I see there's a lot of artists actually that do like visual development type stuff and they work like in paper cutout. I think that's pretty cool. Paper never really been a big thing of mine. I like to do collages in paintings whenever I'm doing different mixed media paintings, but I never really make like um, cutout art, which I think is a different skill set. But I love the way that it looks. It looks really pretty. I remember going to this museum. It's like a museum of art. I don't know if it's a contemporary art museum. I think it's a contemporary art museum in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And they would have these artists from Mexico that would make these cutout like amazing portraits and things like that, like scenes, and it would all be cut out paper. I don't know. There's a name for it. It's like a whole genre, but I don't know what it's called. But they look really cool, really really nice. So if you're ever in Albuquerque, you can check out the Museum of Contemporary Art over there. It's downtown. It's really cool. Is it there? Is that the Hispanic Cultural Center? I don't remember. Let me see. I think it's the Hispanic Cultural Center in Albuquerque. Hispanic. Oh, let's see. Albu. Oops. I didn't spell it right. It's the National Hispanic Cultural Center. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where they have. That's where it is. Anyway, if you're ever in New Mexico, check that place out. It's pretty neat. I don't know why. I don't know. It took me a minute. I was like, hold on, is it at the Museum of Contemporary Art or somewhere else? I have to figure that out. All right. So now we're gonna work on smaller details. Gonna work that fence back. Work on that fence. So, what do you guys think about goals? Have you made any goals for yourself? Is it something that you're interested in doing? Is it something that you've thought of doing before? Something that you've ever given up on? Is there something that maybe you've given up on that you want to start doing again? I kind of have to like realize for myself, like whenever I start to feel like I'm giving up on something or I haven't done something that's important to me in a long time, I'm like, I need to pick that back up. That was important to me. That's what I had to realize. That sometimes that's what I have to realize. It's like when I let it go and I'm like really missing out on it. I'm like, you know what? I really need to like pick that back up again. I don't know. Kind of feeling that way. Yeah. let go of something that was important to me. And I want to take it back. Sometimes you gotta go take it back. And I think it's okay. As long as if you're still alive, then you still have a chance. If you're still here, then you still have the opportunity to keep going for whatever your goal is. Whatever your dream was, it can be your dream again. I don't know. I'm sappy like that, even though like I have a lot of reason to not be sometimes. I still feel like maybe I just watched too many Disney movies when I was a kid. Huh. Just like, a dream is a wish. Your heart makes. I feel like that sometimes. Like, still you gotta keep pushing, don't give up. I still feel that way. I know, I'm so cheesy. I'm sorry, I want to apologize to the man. Oh, I don't really apologize for that. I admit that I am sappy like that. But I think it's good to be sappy. What's wrong with being sappy? I think everybody needs a sap in their life. That's my alarm. It's usually when I quit working for the day, but we're not quite done yet. So, I actually got a late start to my day today because I was doing some other stuff. I was volunteering, did I say that? I was volunteering at the zoo. Okay, I don't remember if I told you guys that. Yeah, I was volunteering at the zoo today. And I met some fun goats. I was working with goats today. Goats and sheep. But they were really nice. Friendly. Friendly goats. This one goat, his name is Steve, was really nice to me. He was like overly friendly. He's just like, it's like right in my face. He was really like loving the attention, loving having somebody around. So it was nice. Nice Steve. Alright. There's this man who is, I'm gonna put him on his own layer, I think. That way I can do the, way I can lock the layer to do the color. I was watching Jungle Book, but it's over. Wow, that much time has already? I didn't even realize we've been doing this for so long. Time flies when you're drawing, if you love drawing. Which I do. do love to draw. Just didn't realize it was getting. Alright, well, we're still got a ways to go. We're just barely penciling in all of the major spots, but we're going to do all the details. And I will not let us go without doing those details. It's fishing in the water. So, fishing line. That's pretty cool. It looks like super geometric, but it's pretty fun. I think his head comes down a little bit. It looks a little bit high, so. It's fun. I like the palette. It's like funky. Bit. It's like, oops, my bad. Oops. And make that even again. And I'm gonna lock it so that I can just rotate it. He's looking up a little bit. Oh, kicking his head back, you know. That's right. Alright, I think that's good. I'm gonna put these people, there's some people back here, I'm gonna put them on the same layer as him. It's like a cotton field, that's what it looks like. Woman. There's like a man. And then there's like another man. They're all like in the field. Oh, this guy is fishing. I want to be the guy fishing. I don't want to be in no dang cotton field. Don't put me in no cotton field. Alright, so that's what we got going. Now let's add some details, shall we? I'm going to add some more branches to this tree. Sorry, that was truly horrible, sorry. I don't know what that was. It was my little rock mix. Definitely not have a rock mix. Not recommended. kind of catchy though, huh? Kind of catchy a little bit. Bow, 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 bow. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry. You guys are really gonna get to know me on this. Oh, come on. I'm trying to put on another movie in the background. Iron Man. Iron Man? No, I'm gonna play Will Smith Aladdin for now. Alright, let's see. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. And there's like, this tree is like really wicked. It's like all over the place. It's just branched out. Pretty cool though. It's a pretty amazing tree. Okay. Oh, what happened? Oh, what happened? Oh no, it didn't connect. Dang. Alright, let me see if I can fix this. Barely, but I think I can. At least it didn't lose it entirely. I hate when that happens, when you're using the lasso tool and it doesn't connect in the end and then gets wonky all over the place. It's supposed to make that connection. It's so frustrating when it doesn't do that. I don't think that would help. Let's see, I'm gonna add these branches over here. No, that's not right. Okay, I think we can, I think it's, hopefully that connects. Oh, it still didn't want to connect. I hate when that happens. Why does that happen to me? Alright, so I'm gonna go over and do some color now. Well, we already did color, but I'm gonna go over and add some details. So what I'm gonna do to do that, try and get like that. make some clipping masks. Let's see though. Now I'm just going to try and add some different, come on, get bigger, not that big. I don't know how far we're going to get just because of the, oh dang, that's not what I wanted. Just because it's so slow. I'll try and get that's not what I want either. I want like a, looking for like just like a paint texture, like a canvasy type of texture. I can find it. Don't remember which one I used last time. No, that's definitely not what I'm looking for. I'm not sure, guys. I might have to reset it at this point. Because I'm not getting the speed I need for this. And if I try and keep doing it like this, it might take all night. Like literally it might take all night. So I'm going to have to reset this, but dang, I don't want to. I want to finish it. I want to finish. Just want to finish. But I don't want to be stubborn either. I'm trying to. Yeah, it's super laggy right now. But I think let's try this again. I like this brush, but I'm gonna need like another one for like additional texture. I'm gonna definitely need another one for this. But I think I'm gonna have to reset it. I'm gonna leave it here for now, but I will return for the second part, and as soon as possible. It might not be tonight, but it will be as soon as possible, guys. Thank you for joining me for this section. I'm gonna save this, and I'm going to continue working through this. I knew I should have restarted it at the beginning. Dang it. But until I see you guys very soon, be grateful, live balance, and be yourself, guys. I love you so much for watching, and I appreciate you guys so much. I'll see you real soon, okay?